This is the Tamron 17-70 F2.8 for Sony E-mount. I've watched painful amount of reviews to decide which of the new lenses are better alternative for Sony 18-105 f4. And I've bought the Tamron. Enjoy sample videos from this lens while I'll tell you the whole story. The Sony 18-105 was kind of love and hate for me. The lens is outdated for a world of 4K and 24 megapixel images. The picture was visually pleasing, but the autofocus was unreliable and it had some quirks that drive me crazy. Like, it always parked to 18 millimeters when you switched the camera off. So you couldn't prepare a shot and switch the camera off and return and have it prepared. That's why. When I sold the Sony, I was left with Sigma 18-35, one of the best lenses for video. But I stopped using it because it's really small focal range and the lens itself is freakishly heavy. So I started looking for something new with good focal range and decent aperture. Here comes to scene the trio of new lenses. Good YouTube reviews of these lenses are individually from Christopher Frost. Shout out for him. Option 1 was Sigma 18-50 f2.8. Next is Sony 16-50 f2.8, and third was Tamron 17-70 f2.8. You will know everything from technical side and his opinions as well. And good comparison of these three lenses are from Arthur R. Only thing I missed in Arthur's video is to see how different is the 70 millimeters from the 50. So you can see the range. I had ruled out the Sony. I've tested the lens when it came out. It's good, but feels very heavy and it does similar job to the Sigma. Sigma would be great if it had longer focal length. So the Tamron wins it by focal length. Bonus is it fits better in my collection of lenses. Basically I needed to fill a gap from wide, the Samyang 12mm, up to 70 to my telephoto lens. When I was deciding, I thought stabilization is just a plus, but stabilization makes a huge difference, especially for old bodies without IBIS. But it helps a lot also on my A6500. This lens is stupidly big when you put it on A5100. The video from 17mm focal length looks like it's on a tripod with longer focal length. It's harder to make it look like on a tripod. If it lose it, it looks like you're rested on a ship, but it's still very powerful stabilization. And I feel like lots of reviews did not focus on this stabilization topic as much as they could. For video, it will not fight you like other lenses do, like old Canons, just for photos. They not really expect you to pan. Tamron says also in the product video when it was released that this is videographer's lens. I can only agree. It's awesome. You will be also able to use much longer exposure values, shutter speed. It's very sharp. Maybe I got a good copy, I don't know. Only complaint, I could say it's much bigger than the other two. The Sony was shorter. The Sigma is much smaller. Actually, in this case, I would say the end justifies the means. The size does not matter, whatever other people say. I don't care how big it is, as long it does its job well. And it does, at least for now. Because the old Sony 18-105 f4, back then, with only Full HD video as the maximum anyone could do, it did very good job. Percentage-wise, I would say the Tamron is like 95%. Why not give it 100? So the size, I would say the bokeh, the autofocus specular highlights, or whatever you can call it, they're not that pretty as at the old Sony 18-105. That's one of the little downsides. Like, it's like nitpicking. Okay, if you want to shoot portraits, maybe you will focus on this part, then maybe the Sigma will do better job, like with these bokeh artifacts in background. But I still didn't notice like not pleasingly out of focused things. How would you say it? Please write in a comment how should I call it when something out of focus behind you and the character of the textures are not nice. Like, yeah, that.